Trust is a quiet thing. It builds slowly, brick by brick, in the shared glances and whispered secrets of a relationship. It is the unspoken promise that you are safe here, in this space you have built together. You hand over the most fragile parts of yourself, believing they will be held with care. This belief becomes the foundation of your shared world, the very ground beneath your feet. It's not something you think about every day. It is simply there, like the air you breathe, essential and assumed. You believe in its strength without question. We often imagine our relationships as sturdy houses. We decorate the rooms with memories and laughter. We fill the closets with shared dreams and future plans. Trust is the invisible architecture holding it all up. It is the beams in the ceiling and the foundation poured deep into the earth. Without it, the walls would crumble. The roof would cave in. The entire structure would be nothing but a pile of debris. We sleep soundly inside these houses, never imagining a storm could come from within and tear it all down from the inside out. This sacred space is where love lives and grows. It is where we allow ourselves to be truly seen, flaws and all. We are vulnerable. We are open. We are beautifully, terrifyingly exposed. We offer our hearts with the silent understanding that they will be protected. This is the great gamble of love. We bet everything on the goodness and integrity of another person. We trust that they will honor the immense gift we have given them, the key to our innermost self. It is a profound act of faith. And so, when that trust is broken, it is not just a promise that has been shattered. It is the very foundation of your reality. The ground gives way, and you are sent into a free fall. The person you thought you knew becomes a stranger. The memories you cherished are suddenly cast in a different, harsher light. Everything you believe to be true is called into question. It is a disorientation of the soul, a deep and seismic shock that redefines everything you thought you understood about love, about another person, and about yourself. The discovery rarely happens like it does in the movies. There is no dramatic confrontation in a rainstorm. It is often quiet. It is mundane. It is a crack that appears in the ordinary rhythm of your life. For Sarah, it was a second cell phone she found while looking for a spare charger in her husband's car. The phone was tucked away deep inside the glove compartment, a secret little box of a life she knew nothing about. Its screen lit up with a message from a name she did not recognize, a message that was not innocent. The world tilted on its axis in the silent garage. For others, the truth comes out in pieces, a nagging feeling that something is off. A credit card statement with a charge for a hotel in a town he was never supposed to be in. A friend who finally works up the courage to tell you what they saw. Each piece is a small stab, a little tear in the fabric of your reality. You try to stitch it back together. You try to explain it away. You want to believe the stories you are told because the alternative is too painful to comprehend. But the pieces keep coming until you can no longer ignore the ugly picture they form. Sometimes the betrayal is confessed. It comes out in a torrent of guilt-ridden words late at night, after the kids are asleep. The confession is meant to be a relief for the one who speaks it, but for the one who listens, it is a bomb. It detonates in the quiet of your shared bedroom, blowing apart the life you carefully built. You sit there, stunned, the ringing in your ears drowning out everything else. You look at the face of the person you love, and you see a stranger looking back at you, a stranger who has held a devastating secret. No matter how it is revealed, the moment of discovery is a demarcation line. There is the life you had before you knew, and the life you have after. You can never go back to the time before the crack appeared. That world is gone forever. The innocence is lost. The simple, easy trust has been vaporized. You are standing in the wreckage, breathing in the dust of what used to be. The air is thick with questions you are not sure you want the answers to. The silence that follows the discovery is the loudest sound you have ever heard. The first emotion is often shock, a profound and chilling numbness that cocoons you from the full force of the pain. Your mind cannot process the information. It feels unreal, like a story happening to someone else. You might go through the motions of your day. You make breakfast, you go to work, you smile at strangers, but underneath, you are frozen. It is the calm before the hurricane, a strange and hollow quiet where your heart is trying to catch up with what your mind now knows. This is your body's way of protecting you, of giving you a moment to brace yourself for the storm. Then the waves of pain begin to crash. It is a physical agony, a deep ache in your chest that makes it hard to breathe. It feels like a vital part of you has been carved out, leaving a raw, gaping wound. You might cry until you have no tears left, until your body is just a series of shuddering sobs. You might feel a white-hot rage that makes you want to scream and break things. This anger is a powerful force, a fire that burns away the numbness. It is a testament to the love that was there, a measure of how deeply you cared. Confusion swirls like a dense fog, clouding your thoughts. You replay every conversation, every memory, searching for clues you might have missed. You question everything. Was any of it real? Did he ever truly love me? You become a detective in your own life, but the evidence only brings more pain. This relentless questioning is exhausting. It traps you in a loop of what-ifs and whys. You're trying to make sense of the senseless, trying to find logic in an act that feels like pure chaos. Your mind desperately seeks an anchor in the swirling storm of emotion. Beneath it all lies a profound sense of humiliation. The betrayal feels like a public failure, a deep and personal shame. You feel foolish for trusting. You feel naive for believing the lies. There is a feeling of being devalued, as if you were not enough. This shame can be isolating. It makes you want to hide from the world, to retreat into yourself so no one can see your pain. It is a heavy cloak you wear, one that tells you you are somehow responsible for the choices another person made. It is a lie, but it feels so terribly true in the moment. The days that follow the discovery are a blur of survival. Simple tasks feel monumental. Getting out of bed is a victory. Taking a shower requires a reservoir of strength you are not sure you possess. Food loses its taste. Sleep becomes a battleground, offering either no rest or nightmares that force you to relive the betrayal. The world outside your window keeps moving, but your own life has ground to a screeching halt. You are living in a different time zone, one where every minute is thick with pain, and every hour is an eternity to endure. Your home, once a sanctuary, transforms into a minefield of memories. Every object tells a story, but now the stories are tainted. The coffee mug he gave you feels heavy with deceit. The photograph on the mantelpiece is a picture of a lie. The bed you shared feels vast and cold, a crime scene. You move through the rooms of your house like a ghost, haunted by what was and what you now know to be untrue. The very air is thick with the presence of the betrayal, making it impossible to find a moment of peace within your own walls. Conversations become fraught with tension and unspeakable things. There are practical matters to discuss, but how do you talk about who will pick up the groceries when your heart is shattered into a million pieces? The silence between you is heavy, filled with accusations, sorrow, and questions that hang in the air like smoke. Every word is a potential trigger, every glance a potential source of more pain. You're navigating a new and treacherous landscape with the person who caused the earthquake, and you have no map to guide you. Your body keeps the score. You might lose weight. You might have trouble concentrating. Headaches and stomach aches become your constant companions. The stress of the emotional turmoil manifests in physical ways, a constant reminder of the wound you carry. Friends and family offer support, but it is hard to explain the depth of your pain. They offer advice, but you are too lost in the fog to see a path forward. You feel utterly alone, even when surrounded by people who love you. You are an island of grief in a sea of well-meaning but helpless faces. You arrive at a crossroads you never imagined you would face. The path splits in two, and both directions are honestly pretty terrifying. One path is staying. It means trying to rebuild something from the ashes. It means facing the person who hurt you every single day. It means finding a way to forgive the unforgivable. This path requires a monumental leap of faith, a belief that the love you once had can be resurrected, maybe in a different form. It is a path of immense emotional labor, of therapy, of painful conversations, and of living with the ghost of the affair forever. The other path is leaving. This path leads into the unknown. It means dismantling the life you built together. It means dividing possessions, finding a new place to live, and explaining to your children why their world is being torn apart. It is a path of profound loss and grief, not just for the person you are leaving, but for the future you had planned together. It is honestly terrifyingly lonely. It means starting over from scratch, building a new life on the shaky ground of your broken heart. The freedom it promises is shadowed by the fear of being completely on your own. The decision is not a simple equation of love versus pain. It is a complex web of factors. There are children to consider, their well-being a heavy weight on your heart. There are finances, shared histories, and intertwined families. You weigh the good years against the devastating betrayal. You try to separate the person you loved from the person who lied to you. Friends and family will have opinions. They will tell you what you should do. But in the end, the choice is yours alone, a burden you must carry by yourself. There is no right or wrong answer. There is only your answer. You must listen to the quietest voice inside you, the one buried beneath the anger and the grief. It is a choice that cannot be rushed. You might sway back and forth for weeks or even months. One day, staying feels possible. The next, leaving feels like the only way to breathe again. You must give yourself the grace to live in this uncertain space, to honor the complexity of your situation. The decision will shape the rest of your life, and it deserves time, patience, and deep introspection. Whether you choose to stay or go, the process of rebuilding begins with one small step. It is not like a grand gesture, but really just a quiet act of self-preservation. It might be finally making that appointment with a therapist. It might be joining a yoga class to reconnect with your body. Or it might be just sitting in the sun for 10 minutes, feeling its warmth on your skin, and reminding yourself that you are still here. These are the first tentative bricks you lay for a new foundation. They're small, but honestly, they're solid. And they are yours. If you stay, rebuilding is a shared and arduous task. It requires radical honesty from both partners. The secrets must all come out, no matter how painful they are to hear or to speak. It demands a genuine and deep remorse from the person who strayed, not just guilt for being caught. It is a slow and delicate process of re-earning trust. Moment by moment, day by day, there will be setbacks. Old wounds will reopen. It is like learning to walk together again after a devastating injury, requiring patience, support, and the willingness to face the pain head-on. If you leave, rebuilding is a solitary journey at first. It means creating a new home that is a true sanctuary, a space that is entirely your own. It involves rediscovering who you are outside of the relationship. What do you enjoy? What makes you laugh? You begin to fill your life with new people, new hobbies, and new routines. You are the sole architect of this new life, and while that is daunting, it is also empowering. Each piece of furniture you choose, each new friend you make, is a declaration of your independence and your survival. The most important part of rebuilding is shifting the focus back to yourself. The betrayal made you feel powerless. The healing process is about reclaiming your power. It's about learning to mother yourself, to offer yourself the same compassion and care you would offer a dear friend. You learn to set boundaries. You learn to listen to your intuition. You start making choices that are solely for your own well-being. You are not just surviving the wreckage anymore. You are actively, consciously, and bravely building a new life from the ground up. After the storm passes and the rebuilding begins, you start to notice a change in the light. The world just looks different. The colors might seem sharper, more vibrant. Having walked through the darkest valley, you develop a new appreciation for the simple beauty you once took for granted. A perfect cup of coffee in the morning, the sound of birds singing outside your window, a genuine laugh shared with a friend. These small moments of joy become honestly profound gifts. You have learned that nothing is permanent, and so you cherish the good things with a newfound intensity. Your relationships with others deepen. You learn to distinguish between fair-weather friends and the people who will sit with you in the dark without flinching. You become more discerning about who you let into your inner circle. Your capacity for empathy grows immensely. Having known profound pain, you become a more compassionate presence for others who are suffering. You understand that everyone is carrying their own invisible burdens. Your heartbreak has cracked you open, and in doing so has made your heart bigger and more capable of true connection. You discover a strength within yourself that you never knew existed. You have faced the absolute worst, and you are still standing. This knowledge is a quiet, unshakable confidence that settles deep in your bones. The fears that once held you back seem smaller now. You become bolder, more willing to take risks, because you understand that you can survive disappointment. You have been broken, but you have also learned that you are the one with the power to put yourself back together. This resilience becomes a core part of your new identity. Life becomes more authentic. The betrayal stripped away all pretense, forcing you to confront hard truths about yourself, your life, and what you truly want. You no longer have the energy for things that are not genuine. You stop trying to please everyone. You speak your truth more freely. You pursue passions you had set aside. You begin to live a life that is aligned with your deepest values, not with the expectations of others. In the wreckage of your old life, you find the freedom to build one that is more honest, more meaningful, and more beautifully your own. The scars from betrayal do not disappear entirely. They remain, not as open wounds, but as silvery lines on the landscape of your heart. In quiet moments, a memory might trigger a faint echo of the old pain, but these scars are not a sign of weakness. They are a testament to your survival. They are a map of where you have been, a reminder of the battle you fought and won. They prove that you are capable of healing. They are a mark of your strength, a permanent part of your story that you carry with honor, not shame. Pain is a profound teacher. It strips away the non-essential and forces you to look at what truly matters. The experience of infidelity teaches you about the nature of trust, love, and human fallibility. You learn that you cannot control another person's actions, but you can control your own reactions. You learn the incredible importance of self-love and self-reliance. These are not easy lessons. They are learned in the crucible of suffering, but once learned, they become the bedrock of your wisdom and inform all your future choices. You learn the true meaning of forgiveness. It is not about condoning the betrayal or letting the other person off the hook. Forgiveness is something you do for yourself. It is the act of releasing the heavy burden of anger and resentment that chains you to the past. It is a conscious decision to stop letting the person who hurt you continue to occupy space in your head and your heart. Forgiveness is the final step in reclaiming your power and your peace. It is the key that unlocks your own cage, setting you free to move forward. Ultimately, the journey through heartbreak teaches you that you are whole on your own. Before, you may have believed that your happiness depended on another person. You may have seen yourself as one half of a whole. After, you understand that you were never a half. You are complete. A partner is someone who walks beside you, not someone who completes you. This realization is the ultimate gift of your pain. It is a deep, unshakable knowledge of your own worth and your own completeness. A foundation upon which you can build a future filled with genuine joy and authentic love. The end of one story is always the beginning of another. After the grief and the rebuilding, you find yourself standing at the edge of a new chapter. The pages are blank. The future is unwritten. This is not a frightening void anymore, but a space of infinite possibility. You are the author of this next chapter. You get to decide what happens next. You get to choose the characters, the setting, and the plot. This is your story to write, and you hold the pen with a steady, confident hand. You may choose to love again, but this time, you will love differently. You will love with your eyes wide open, with the wisdom your scars have taught you. You will choose a partner not out of need, but out of a desire to share your already complete and happy life. You will build a new relationship on a foundation of honesty, respect, and a clear understanding of what you will and will not accept. You will know how to create a sacred space of trust, and you will know how to protect it, because you understand its precious and fragile nature. Or perhaps your new beginning is a love story with yourself. You might discover a deep sense of contentment in your own company. You fill your days with work that you love, with friendships that nourish you, and with adventures that make your soul sing. You create a life so rich and full that a romantic partner becomes a wonderful addition, not a necessary component. You find joy in your solitude, a peaceful and powerful state of being that you cultivated from the ashes of your old life. Your own happiness becomes your greatest love affair. The promise of a new beginning is not that you will never face pain again. Life will always have its challenges. The promise is that you now know you can face them. You have been to the bottom and found your way back up. You have learned that even the most devastating heartbreak is survivable. Your future is not defined by the betrayal you endured, but by the strength, resilience, and grace you discovered in its wake. You walk forward into the sunlight, not broken but remade, ready for the beautiful, unwritten story that awaits.